University Fest 2021, the official launch party for Be Free University, with Be Free University educators, Juju, Derek Harper, Ashley Ann, with Ash Cash, Joe Dudley Jr., R.C. Blakes, with Damon John, Roland Martin, Rashida Jackson, co-founder, and with George Howard, founder. Sponsored by Be Free Tax Services, Dudley's, Be Free University, Financial Freedom University, First Generation Life, and R.C. Blake's Ministries. Now, your MC of the day, Dr. Rashida Jackson. Be Free family! Welcome to Freedom Fest 2021, the official launch party of Be Free University. Yes, and in the fine voice of one of my amazing educators, hey now, we are in the house. We are 100% live. We are launched. We are and we did it all because you guys were here to support. So we want to thank each and every one of our distinguished guests, our parents that are here. We love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your prayers and bringing us through this season. We are so excited. For those of you, this is your first time experiencing Be Free University. We want to first apologize for the technical issues, all the difficulties. You guys know that the devil will get in the details, right? He'll always get in the details. But we are here to triumph. We are victorious today because we are Be Free University. So we want you to know that we are here because we are a disruptive educational platform with the sole purpose of teaching people, leading people out of bondage into freedom, teaching them how to build wealth and create passive income for themselves and for their children's children. So we want to welcome you to this amazing event. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. It's already amazing because you are here. So I want to share with you just a little bit about who Be Free University is with this short video. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Can I ask you a question? What was your life dream growing up? I mean, you were told you could do anything. All you had to do was go to school, get a degree, work a good job, and retire. Well, chances are that plan didn't work out so well. I mean, think about it. It didn't work for your grandparents, your parents, or you. But here you are, you're still teaching it to your children. It is a broken philosophy of wealth. And chances are you are part of the 97% of the world that are trapped. I mean, trapped in debt, commuting long distances to work, only to arrive at a job you really don't like and live check to check, barely having any savings at all. While living expenses, well, they're continuing to increase. I mean, you probably feel as though you're not paid enough and don't even have a clue on how you're going to retire. Was this really your dream growing up? I'm talking about the dreams you had, the dreams of buying that mansion, your favorite sports car, paying off your parents' mortgage, traveling around the world. Well, they're going to forever remain that way. Just dreams. Nothing more, nothing less. But what if I told you that you were wrong? What if there is a way to get there? An actual equation to freedom and wealth, a science behind the way money works. What if you did not have to abandon your dreams? Would you believe me? Would you take the time to watch the rest of this video? Would you act now and seize the opportunity? Would you take the red pill and allow me to show you the way out of the matrix? Or would you take the blue pill and continue to let your life be the same. So, are you ready? We have to start with this broken philosophy of wealth. Traditional schools don't teach wealth. School didn't tell you how to manage your money or how to obtain excellent credit or eliminate debt or even pay as little taxes as possible. School had one mission and one purpose only. School trained you how to get a job, a job. What's wrong with a job, you may ask me? A job will leave you just over broke. A job is the journey of the broke. And unfortunately, this is the wrong money equation. I'm assuming that if you're still watching this video, you want to make money and lots of it, and you want to do it in the shortest time as possible. Well, equation doesn't work. Here it is. Wealth equals job plus wages. Well, you can see that this doesn't work. I mean, think of it this way. If your job pays you $20 an hour and you work 40 hours in a week, it would take you nearly 24 years to earn $1 million. That is without subtracting any taxes, any expenses that you will incur over the next 24 years. And God knows you have to include inflation. 24 years to make $1 million? So how does one get to freedom and wealth? Well, I'll tell you. You have to change your wealth equation. Here it is. Wealth equals passive income plus dividends minus taxes. Guys, we all have one precious resource, the most important resource of all. And once it is gone, there's no way of getting it back. I mean, that resource is time. Time is the currency of life. You spend time just like you spend money. Therefore, you must stop exchanging time for money and develop passive income. So I ask you to stop chasing money and learn to manage time. You see, rich people, they buy time. And poor people, well, they sell time. Every time you go to work for someone else, you're selling your time. You're selling your time for $10, $15, or $20 an hour that keeps you just over broke. The rich, they leverage time. They can use their time however they want to because they've already purchased yours. The rich understand that true wealth and freedom only comes by passive income. Which brings us to the next part of the equation, dividends. See, the skill of multiplying money is the key to freedom. True wealth and freedom only occurs by putting money to work. Your money must make money. You must find a way to make your money duplicate itself without exchanging time for it. Wealthy people, they purchase stocks, they buy real estate, they trade in the Forex market, and in return, they are rewarded with dividends. The awesome thing about dividends is that they not only make money without you trading time for it, they're also taxed at a lower rate than a job. With dividends, the rich get both a tax benefit and passive income. They have learned the art of being free through investing. The third part of the equation is taxes. Taxes are the real enemy of wealth. The average person loses a minimum of 25% of their gross income to taxes. How can you ever build wealth when you're losing money before you even receive it? You can't. The rich have learned to reduce their taxes to almost nothing. In the year 2020, some of the largest corporations paid $0 in taxes. Amazon, 0 taxes. Delta, 0 taxes. Chevron, 0 taxes. General Motors, 0 taxes. Netflix, 0 taxes. Eli Lilly, 0 taxes. Starbucks, 0 taxes. The rich understand how taxes affect wealth. How many of you would like a 25% raise tomorrow? Well, you can by eliminating your taxes. I want to show you how. I want to show you how to play the same game the rich and the free play every single day. I want to show you how to be free. I know I've been speaking about wealth. However, money really isn't this final destination. This presentation is about obtaining one thing traditional schools have never taught you. The one thing you've been desiring all of your life. Freedom. How to be free. Freedom to do what you want, when you want, and never have to worry about these thoughts. Can I afford this? When do I have to be back? How much vacation time do I still have? Do I have any more sick days? How long can I spend with my newborn after giving birth? How am I going to pay my bills? Do I have it enough to retire? Can I live my life's purpose? This presentation is not about money at all. Oh no, it's about freedom. How much longer will you live without being free? Choose today. Choose to be free. At Be Free University, we will teach you how to maximize your cash flow, become debt-free, how to minimize your taxes, the opportunity to have your own business, build a real estate empire, and then we teach you how to take control of your time by developing passive income. Do you want to learn a new trade that will help you be free? Real estate, forex, day trading, digital marketing, credit repair franchises, trust, will, and estate planning, network marketing, tax franchises, business startups and development. The list goes on and on and on. But these are the skills you need to change your wealth equation. I put before you the opportunity to never live life the same again. But you have to make the choice to be free. Be Free University.
All right. Yes. How many of you can relate that it's time to be free? How many of you know that it's really not about the money, it's about the freedom that the money brings? That's what it's all about. So this is Be Free University. You guys sound excited. It's a party, right, Flame? It's a party. And I am ecstatic. I want you guys to know that this is an amazing opportunity for you to find yourself in a place of freedom. So we want to welcome once again, just a little bit about what's going on. There are people here in the room that came from around the country to celebrate this launch. So you will hear them clapping and cheering and saying, hey now, because our very own Keith Sweat is in the back and that is his point saying. So we're going to hear him say that. So I want you watching virtually to know that we are talking to you in the chat. So make sure that you are blowing up the chat, that you are telling people what is happening with you here at Be Free University. Because I know without a shadow of a doubt that some of my scholars and my ambassadors are there in that chat, cheering on everybody that came out to hear this amazing information. So there are going to be a few awesome things that happen. Those of you that are in the room, when we are totally live, I need you to be careful about your flashes. I need you to be careful about your walk, about your noise, because we don't want to interrupt what is going on here on stage. Those of you that are virtual, blow it up. We want to see your emojis. We want to see the fire. We want you to talk about everything, because guess what? We can't hear it. So we are excited just with everyone that is here. I want those of you that are in the room to know that we want to hear you. You know, sometimes it's just like church. When you get to that good notes, they forget to clap or say amen. And you got to cue them. Well, guess what? Right now, I'm going to share with you some amazing videos of some of our scholars and ambassadors who have been with us now since we pre-launched on Dr. King's birthday, January 15th, 2021. So sit back and be inspired by what they have to say about this amazing university.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Hannah Scott Willis, and that's not even important. I want you to understand that Be Free University is the end-all, be-all to universities. It is the best university I've ever been to, and you may be thinking, there's a lot of universities out there. I've been a part of 7. I've been affiliated with 5. I've been a part of and graduated from 3 programs at the top of my class, highest GPAs, honor societies out of Owuzu. I've been a part of honor courses, everything that you could think of. I've done it. I've been set aside and set apart in my academic career, and no school, no university has ever taught me how to become financially free. Nobody has ever debunked credit myths. Nobody has. Nobody has ever provided me passive income while attending school. Be Free has done that for me. Be Free can do that for you. please make your mind up to be financially free and enroll now.
Hi guys, I'm Kiera and I'm an ambassador here at Be Free University, enrolled in the School of Trading. Now, if you guys are familiar with trading, you will find that it can be very difficult to find your place in the market and to find a trading strategy that works for you. With the teachings of the educators here, I found that I became more consistent and more profitable. I want to give a big shout out to Sean Sutton and the Blue Club. With tuning into these sessions daily, I've had major results, and with being enrolled into Be Free in this short amount of time, I am my own boss, and I am well on my way to being free. This university has changed my life in a major way, and if you truly want to be free, this is the place to be.
All right. You heard it from the Gen Zers. You heard it from them. I say that they're certifiably unemployable simply because they have the sauce, the secret, right? They're not going to work for anybody. They're not going to allow anybody to buy their time. They're not going to allow anybody to tell them what to do. So they learned a very valuable lesson that some of us older folk are just learning now. Y'all don't have to say amen. It's okay, because I know I'm preaching better than y'all shouting. It's the truth. The Gen Zers have the sauce. They have the secret. And you heard them. They are more profitable. They're learning how to be debt free. But by the time they're our age, they don't have to answer to anybody. They can book a flight and go wherever they want to go. Because again, it's about being free. It's about hopping on a red eye just on the blink of an eye and deciding to be somewhere else because you have the freedom to do so. We are here to teach that and to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to be free. So right now, something very special is about to happen. Listen, I told you the devil is in the details. He don't even matter anymore because we have the privilege of hearing from our founder today. Through all of the technical difficulties, all of the things that have gone on today, you guys have the privilege and the honor of hearing from the founder 2 days before he was supposed to come and share. So I want to introduce to all of you that are new to our platform. I want to tell you a little bit about the young man that's going to come forward. George M. Howard Jr. has over 20 years in financial education. He has dedicated his life to teaching people how to be free. Really, that's it, really, how to be free. He has taught financial literacy since the age of 19. Y'all can do the math. 19, 20. No, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. He's authored 2 books, Edit Your Credit, which was published in 2002. And also, guys, guess what? He's written curriculums for the National Urban League as well as the NAACP. He has had the privilege of purchasing over 100 homes debt-free. That should get a hey now. Don't you want to be free to learn how he did it? You know, because it's enough of won't he do it, it's how did he do it, right? He purchased over 100 homes debt free, and then he took that information and decided it was just too much to keep to himself. Founded Freedom University, Creating Wealth God's Way, where he taught his students to duplicate his efforts. They did so by purchasing 400 homes debt free, eliminating $77 million in debt, and generating $31 million in cash flow and growing. So I'd like to introduce to each and every one of you the founder, the visionary, the man behind the mission to set 1 million families free, Mr. George M. Howard Jr.
Come on, Be Free University. Let's make some noise. Oh, y'all act like we in the Be Free University. Make some noise. Y'all got to talk back to me. Y'all know I'm a preacher. If y'all don't talk back to me, the longer I get. So somebody make some noise in this place. Guys, I'm so excited to be here, guys. We launched this company in a beta or a soft launch absolutely 70 days ago. And I'm going to tell you and show you all throughout these presentations, all of the testimonials that are coming in that are real life experiences that we've had in literally 70 days. If some of y'all don't catch that little slow, 70 days is 1,671 hours that you actually have affected these many of lives. If some of y'all still didn't get it, 70 days is 100,304 minutes. Some of y'all still didn't get it. 70 days is 6,018,200 seconds. That is the effect that we've had so far in the lives, and we got so much longer to go. If you are watching me via the internet, I just want you to put some emojis in the chat and let somebody know that if they can be free in 70 days, what can you do in 7 weeks? What can you do in 7 months? What can you do in 7 years? I want somebody who says I'm going to be free without a shadow of a doubt to make some noise in this place. I'm so elated. Dr. Rashida, our Chief Operating Officer here, who's doing an absolutely wonderful job. She is absolutely beautiful, outstanding. Work hard, guys. I'm going to tell you now that we would not be here if it was not for the work, the efficiency, the proficiency of this young lady. I am honored to serve next to her and Be Free University. Thank you so much, Dr. Jackson, for being a part of Be Free University. Now, how many of you would like to make some money? Boy, I tell you, this ain't the right crowd, is it? Let me try it again. They already got the money. That's what it. How many of y'all would like some more money? Okay, that's what it was. It's okay. Okay, so wanting some more money. Okay, y'all got to get me straight here. Hold on. What you saying, Cedric? Step back? All right, I got to step back. Okay, they scared I'm going to fall off the stage. I don't know. All right, so guys, what I want to do real quickly, I want to tell you how I absolutely bought 100 houses in about 6 years debt free. Say it again. It's not that hard. I want everybody put in the chat right now. I want everybody in here to say it out loud. If he can do it, I can do it too. Now I need you to act like you mean it. If he can do it, I can do it too. So guys, real quickly, I want to just share that my story is a little different than most people's. I didn't get into investing because I was just this outstanding investor who says, oh, I see a wonderful opportunity. I'm going to take advantage of it. I analyzed the market. I've seen that the cap rate on this particular house is going to be outstanding, over 22%. And you just start doing the analytics. That wasn't me. Wasn't my story. Because 6 years ago, I was homeless. Literally homeless. My mom was in the room. You know, thank God for healing. Amen. But 6 years ago, guys, about 6.5 years ago, I moved back in. I left Nashville, Tennessee, moved back in with my mom and my dad. My dad and I got into it, and he put me out. Didn't have anywhere to go. I actually started staying on my auntie's couch, living on my auntie's couch, moved in with a girl, found out that it wasn't the best place to be, but I wasn't going back to my auntie's couch. Somebody say amen. So I found out about this tax lien auction. I kind of heard about auctions already, so I was like, okay, I'm going to go to this tax lien auction. So I'm there, you guys, and they're calling types of numbers, and I have no clue what they are doing. I don't have a bidder's number. I don't have a sheet. I don't have anything. I'm unprepared. I'm just at an auction. So we went to lunch, and we came back, and the auctioneer shared something with us. He said, hey, y'all might want to bid on these properties because the university's buying them up. So I said, okay, well, it was $300. So we said, let's take a chance. Me and my two cousins, we said, well, you get one, and I'm going to get one. So, okay. Guys, we bought that. I bought my first house for $300. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. It wasn't the prettiest thing. It wasn't the prettiest thing, but I will tell you this, that what they say to in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Well, in the land of the homeless, that ugly house is king. So I was absolutely ecstatic and astounded about this house, you guys. I actually would drive back and forth from Indianapolis to fix it up. It took me about 6 weeks of fixing it up. I fixed up the house, and somebody offered me $53,000 for this $300 house that I got about $7,000 in. Now, I told y'all I didn't get in this because I was looking for an investment, but I do believe there's an investor that lives somewhere inside of me. I said, wait, I got $7,000 in the house. I bought it for $300, and you gonna give me $53,000? What do I sign? Now, here's the key to this, you guys. I didn't go to the mall and get no Gucci, get no Louis. I didn't go buy a new car, put some rims on it. I went back to the auction with the same money. Somebody say amen. Now, if y'all didn't catch those nuggets right there, we might as well close up shop. I have found out at a very young age that you must put your money someplace that's going to make you money. Now, I don't know about you. If I went to a place and it actually found gold and I left, I'm going back to that same place where I found gold. I went right back to the auction where I got this $300 house, and guess what I did? I bought 2 more houses. And I fixed them up absolutely debt-free. I bought $300 for a house. We just sold one for, Brittany's not here, $81,000. Brittany's here. The one on Clay Street, was it $81,000? Yeah, $81,000. We just sold that one after we got $1,000 a month off of it for 3.5 years. So in 3.5 years, guys, it made me about $40,000, and then I sold it for $81,000. So that $300 investment made me $120,000. Somebody say amen. That's just another transaction. And then there was another transaction and another transaction. So somebody says, well, what are you doing with these transactions? I want everybody to put in the chat, and I want you guys to say it out loud with me. Tax liens. Now I'm going to break this down with you because we're talking about how to be free through real estate. How to be free through real estate. Guys, what I want to show you really, really quickly is that I want to show you how you can actually get passive income in real estate. Because that's what this is all about. This is all about passive income. Guys, in the videos, it began to show you and begin to tell you that when you went to work, you're trading your time for money. You will never get ahead. Matter of fact, Warren Buffett said it this way. He said, as long as you have active income, he said, no, I'm sorry. He said, if you never find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. You must find a way to separate your time from money. One of those ways is through real estate. One of those ways in real estate is called tax lien certificates, tax deed certificates. Y'all still with me? These exist in every single state and every single county in the country. Now, I'm going to say something, you guys, and I'm going to hurt some feelings, but it's okay because God's going to heal you in a minute. I've never seen God bless anybody in the Bible with a mortgage. I'm going to say it again. I've never seen God bless anybody in the Bible with a house note. Y'all missed it. I'm so sick and tired of us shouting about the blessings of God and never obtaining or possessing the blessings of God. We have got the faith part down, but we forgot that there's a works part that must be applied to our everyday lives. Faith without works is what? Y'all missed it. I need y'all to say it again. I told you I'm a preacher. You better talk back to me. Faith without works. Yeah, okay. I'm in the right church. All right. All right. So tax lien and deed certificates happen in every single state, every single county. I call it America's best kept secret. Let me tell you why. Tax lien investing is the oldest investment in the United States of America. It is the oldest investment. It exists before Wall Street. Anybody here heard of Wall Street? It existed before the Federal Reserve System. Anybody here heard of the Federal Reserve System? In the late 1700s, the counties came up, or the states came up with a way to say, hey, listen, when people don't pay their taxes, the county can't meet budget. So we need to find out a way that we can meet budget, because if we don't, we can't fix the roads. We can't have the hospitals open, the county fair and the county land can't happen, county hospitals, the sheriff department, the libraries, all this is ran with county money. And guess what makes up the largest piece of the county's budget? Home taxes. So when home taxes wasn't paid, well, the county was in trouble. So they said this, let's come up with a penalty that will punish them if they don't pay me by a certain date. All right, well, just y'all don't raise your hand on this one. But how do y'all, many of y'all know that don't work? Y'all quiet. Don't raise your hand. Just stay right there. If you got the Rainbow Coalition in your mailbox at the crib, you probably all witness that it don't work. You know, if you don't pay the car by the 15th, you know if the light bill ain't paid by the 10th, you know if the car note ain't paid by the 12th, you say, well, I'm just gonna juggle it and I'm gonna take the penalty and we just gonna make it work. Anybody here ever been there? I guess I'm the only one. That's okay. Well, guess what? They put a penalty on property taxes. Well, people say, well, we just gonna have to juggle it and make it work. So the county still didn't get no money. Now, I want to stop right there, because every state has legislation that dictates how your state makes this thing work in your particular state. So, for example, Texas is going to do it different than Louisiana is going to do it different than Iowa. Iowa's going to do it different than Georgia. Georgia's going to do it different than California. California's going to do it different than Minneapolis. Then it's up to your county to interpret the state statute, and they run it how they interpret it. So your county may do it different than the county next door, but they all have to do it according to that state statute. So one of the reasons, guys, that many people don't know about this, because there's over 3,300 counties in the United States, and you got 3,300 different ways of this operating in every single county. But they're still existing. So after the penalties applied to the property, they said, well, we don't have any money, so we're going to put a lien against the property. So, guys, you don't know what a lien is. A lien is just an encumbrance. It's just something that says, hey, you owe me some money. I want it. If you sell, you got to pay me first. That's all it is. You say, I got first dibs on getting paid back. That's all a lien is. I got first lien position. I got first dibs. Second lien position, I got second dibs. After you pay him, I want the rest. Got it? Well, guess what? Your mortgage typically has first lien position. It gets first dibs. But the county is Debo. Debo say, is that my necklace? It's going to jump line. It's going to cut line in front of the mortgage. So even though the mortgage has a higher liability, Debo comes in and says, even though they only owe me $5,000 or $10,000 or $12,000 and they owe you $200,000, I cut you in line. Does that make sense? So now the lien has first lien position. I'm sorry, the tax lien has first lien position even if there's a mortgage on it. Because guess what? The county want their money at any cost. The county's then going to take that first lien position and they're going to take it to an auction and they're going to sell it to people because they still don't have their money. All this is about the county getting their money, y'all. The penalty didn't work. The lien didn't work. So they're going to sell it to an investor like you and me and says, hey, when they pay me back, I'll just give you the profits from the investment because you paid the taxes for them. Does that make sense? So when I step in proxy for the home buyer and I say, I'm going to pay the property taxes for this particular individual, and the county says, great, they must pay you back within a certain period of time plus interest. Now, where the interest come from, y'all? Anybody know? Remember that penalty they put against that person? That penalty is my interest. So watch this. In Florida, it's 18%. In Texas, it's 25%. In Iowa, it's 24%. In Alabama, it's 18%. In Indiana, it's 10%. Now, when was the last time your mutual fund, your 401k, your IRA, your TSP, any of these had a higher yield than 10%? I tell you when. It wasn't. So this investment is secured by real estate. There's no other investment that's secured by property. If the market goes up, what happens to your returns? They go up. But if the market goes down, what happens to your returns? Your money go down. Well, with this one, if they pay me back, I get 10, 12, 18, 24, 25% interest. If they don't pay me back, I get the house. Somebody say debt-free. Guys, I've done this over 100 times. My students have done over 400 times. The average price I pay for a property is $900. Which means if you're watching me online, that device you're watching me on probably costs more than what I'm paying for houses. Now I can go use the rent money from the house I got debt free, and I can buy as many Apple Watches, Apple iPods as I want to, because why? I got passive income. So now let's take you to the next place. We talked about how it's the best investment in the world. Why? Because it's secured against real estate. It's legislated by my state. It's the oldest investment in the world. Well, in the United States. This is a win-win for everybody. Well, unless you're the homeowner, they didn't pay their taxes. But let me tell you the blessing in this, you guys. The blessing in this is that if you are saved, the Bible says this. He said, they will know you're Christians by how many Bibles you carry. That's not what it says. They will know you're Christians by how many tongues you speak. They will know you're Christians by how big the cross is around your neck. They will know you're Christians by your love. The Bible says they'll know you Christians by your love. So watch this. The only quality and characteristic that a person has to demonstrate that you know Jesus is your actions towards them. How much of a blessing can you be when you got the house debt free and you can help the person that just lost it is already in the house? Because if somebody else got it, guess what they're going to do? They can kick them out. You get to work with them. So now watch this. You're taking back possession of the earth while you can be a blessing to somebody else. And you're still making a profit. Somebody say profit. See, now y'all act like y'all too saved. You can't talk about money in the church. Somebody say profit. See, y'all act like y'all got a profit, mean y'all making money. Somebody say profit. Okay, maybe Rashida. Should we go religious? Say overflow. Okay, so y'all too churchy in here. That's what it is. They say overflow, but they won't say profit, Bishop. What's going on with that? All right, so guys, let me break this down for you guys. Remember I told you there's a time period that they give the homeowner to pay me my money back plus interest? That is called a redemption period. I want you guys to write that down. It is a redemption period. Every single state has different rules. That redemption period fluctuates. I went to an auction back in September. My people bought properties. It will come out. They have a 1-year redemption period, which means they will become homeowners if they're not paid back plus the interest by the next September that's coming up now. There's an auction coming up in the county that I live in on April 6th, 7th, and 8th. I'm walking a whole group of people through it right now. Matter of fact, we're about to buy an entire zip code. Somebody say zip code. See, y'all been trying to talk about buying back the block. We've been doing that for 6 years. So now we're buying the entire zip code. The entire zip code. The entire zip code. Y'all want to shout. See, I can't even go into it because that's not my assignment right now, but we're buying the entire zip code. I can do it because I understand how the investment works. So now, when we start moving on to the very next phase, we have to begin to say, well, there's a different type of state that has no redemption period. That state is called a deed state. Now, I like deed states because now when I go to the auction, I'm literally buying the house. There's no redemption period. There's no coming back. There's no nothing. When I walk away, they ain't gonna give you no keys. I'm sorry. You ain't gonna get no keys. You better get a locksmith or get a good strong key that you can put your foot in the door. But either way it go, you ain't gonna get no keys. So, but you're gonna leave with deed, which means you got possession of the property. Those states are states like Michigan, Minneapolis, well, Minnesota. These states are states like, New York is a hybrid state. Some are deeds, some are liens. Well, let's talk about hybrid states, you guys. A deed state is has no redemption period, which means there's no penalty because there's no period for them to pay you back because when you walked away, you got the house. Does that make sense? Now, I want you guys to remember this. Deed states are more expensive than lien states. Why? Because they know they get in the house. In a lien state, you rolling the dice. You're like, hey, baby, I need a number 6. Come on, baby. Crap. They redeemed. Right? So at a lien state, I don't know if they're going to redeem or not unless you know about something called a non-performing asset. Guys, about 90% of the houses I pick do not redeem, even if they have mortgages on them. Why? Because I know how the banks work. Matter of fact, we got a vice president of a bank that's in the house right now. Mr. Terry, how you doing? Right there, guys, that's my new banker right there. He's in the house. He will tell you he's in that department that operates in non-performing assets. That's the department he's in. They will tell you that there comes a time where the bank just wants to walk away from the property because it just makes their books look bad. Matter of fact, Terry told me a story. He said, George, I had to tell the bank, man, don't do it. You know what that property's worth? Do you know? So if a bank sees a property is going downhill and it says, hey, we got to put more money in it, then we got to foreclose, well, then we got to put the person out, then we got to actually do property preservation on it, and they got to keep pour money until this non-performing asset, they're going backwards. So they just let it go off the rolls. I know how to find those, and I teach them to you. Guys, tax lien investment, you guys, I could go on and on and on and on about this particular investment. But what I'm telling you, that this is just one of the ways at Be Free University that we teach you wealth through real estate. Guys, you guys have heard of Airbnbs? What about fix and flips? Y'all got any HGTV fans in here? Yeah, fix and flip. Okay, y'all, boy, I'll tell you what. I ain't never seen nobody put a $30,000 kitchen set and put it on TV and say it costs $200,000. You be like, for that kitchen set? That ain't. Anyway, what about commercial properties? You know, multi-units? What about land, mobile homes? This is just the vertical of real estate. Guys, we got some of the best educators in the country that's going to be coming to you, teaching you how to get wealth through real estate. Now, anybody that know me, that follow me, know that typically at Financial Freedom University, which is the company that I own, I have one class, $500 for one class. What I didn't tell you is that I found out about tax lien certificates when I was 19 years old at Purdue University. I was living in West Lafayette, Indiana. I drove to Indianapolis. And I sat in that room and I had $300 or $400 to my name as a college kid. And I could not afford the curriculum, but I still had the same drive. I believe that there's some people right now that's watching me that says, George, I got the same drive you had when you were 19, but I don't have $3,500. And that was the whole reason that Be Free University was born. There's some people right now, you've been hungry. You've been looking for a way to get out of debt. You've been looking for a way to get passive income. You've been looking for a way to get rid of that job. You've been looking for it. And as a consequence, you've been searching and searching and searching. You tried this course, it didn't work. You tried this course, it didn't work. and nobody got that much money to throw away. So I said, let's partner with all of these different experts in their own genres and their own niches, and let's pull together. And our goal is to set 1 million families free. Now, here's the key to this, you guys. Because at Be Free University, our tuition is $149 a month. That means if you paid me for 12 months, you couldn't still buy my one class for $3,500. 12 months of tuition went by one class. Now you get them all: the real estate, the trading, the business, you get the nonprofits, you get the digital marketing, you get all of these different schools right here at Be Free University. You guys, I have so much to share with you today. I cannot wait to call Dr. Jackson back to this stage so she can continue to bless your life and tell you more about this wonderful opportunity called Be Free University. Y'all make some noise for Dr. Jackson.
Give it up for the founder of Be Free University. How many of you know that there are 2 things that are given to all of us, but some of us use them differently? And he is truly a visionary. He's truly a visionary, truly a visionary. We have to speak the word because it's in us. And so it's something that is apparent, that we know that is 100% true. And that is everybody receives sight, but very few have vision. And so I'm grateful again to be working beside Mr. Howard as we build and continue to build this amazing university for people just like you. So one more time, give it up for our founder, George M. Howard Jr. So before we go any further, before I bring up the next testimony, I want to tell you guys something that I heard through the grapevine. People have been asking me for t-shirts, sweatshirts, sweatpants, hats, masks. They want to know about when the swag is going to be released. Well, guess what? The swag shop is open. You can go right now to swag.befree.university and you can see all of the amazing designs that were created so that you can now rep your university. So sit right back just for a few more minutes and listen to this amazing testimonial again about what this university has done for this young lady. Sit right there, because when we come back, we're going to have a giveaway. Anybody like to win prizes? Somebody in this room just found $5 on the ground. Y'all ought to make some noise. Anybody in here like to win prizes? Y'all don't want it. Y'all have enough. So what I want y'all to do, Brittany's the only one stood up. So what I want y'all to do is when you win the prize, if you're in the room, y'all gonna give it to somebody, right? Well, how come when I say we're gonna have giveaways, y'all don't make noise? Yeah, okay. All right. So let's watch this brief testimonial and then we will be right back. And I will tell you guys, I'm gonna bring up the man with the bag.
Good day, beautiful people. I am an ambassador here at Free University, where I am enrolled in the School of Trading. Guys, this is definitely the place to be if you want to be free. All of the educators are excellent. They're definitely masters in their crafts. Shout out to Sean Sutton. He's going to make me rich. I have learned so much since I've been here at the university, not just about trading, guys, and hitting the charts, but also about changing my mindset to actually know skills, actually obtain skills to be free and to be independent and not to have to work for anybody, and to actually have an opportunity to get out what I put in is unmatched. I've been a professional for over 15 years and I have not been able to get out what I put in. So guys, listen, Be Free University is the place to be.
All right, you heard. It's the place to be. So if you're just getting here, don't worry. There's so much free content over the next few days. We know that you're going to become a part of the Be Free University family. What I want to do right now is bring to the stage, listen, I want y'all to listen to me close. Flame, you hear what I'm saying? Now, when you see Pastor Nas come to the stage, you need to make some noise, because I believe that it will increase your chances on winning, because he's the man with the bag. He's the man with the bag. So I heard a little birdie told me, Steph, that Pastor Nas is going to give away some cash money. I heard that he's going to give away some cash money. So these are not some, we didn't go to the Dollar Tree and buy y'all something. No. He's going to give away some prizes that let you know that we are truly the business here at Be Free. You got the collection plate. Okay, you take up a collection because he's going to need it. We're going to give away some cash tonight. So when you guys help me welcome to the stage my brother, my friend, Pastor Anthony Q. Knotts.
Wow. Come on, y'all got to give it up. I am here to give away gifts. And guess what? I was going to give away one thing, but Mr. George Howard just switched it. Are y'all ready? Come on. Those of y'all in the room, y'all ain't standing up. I might call y'all name out. I am getting ready to give away some cash. So guess what? Are you ready? Are you ready for the name? $500 goes to Miss Stephanie Clark. You just won $500 on behalf of Be Free University. Isn't that amazing? Come on, y'all. Let's give it up for Miss Stephanie Clark. We thank God for George Howard and Dr. Rashida. Y'all, hey, every time I come up, y'all got to get excited, because when I come up, I'm coming and I'm bringing the bag, and we're going to give away gifts all day long. Come on. Once again, congratulations, Stephanie Clark. Dr. Rashida.
All right. Now, you guys see Stephanie all the time. So if she ain't in that chat acting up, somebody better call her. Because if not, we're going to have to defer that $500. Right, Britt? I see you, Britt. I see you. Listen, I got to put this card down. I'm so excited because guess what? We're getting ready to get into the sauce. Not only did Mr. Howard give us the sauce, he gives us the sauce, right? He spills the tea, tells the truth. But it's about to get lit in here. Because I heard that this next young man to the stage, I heard that he's got a whole bag with him, that he is going to come and give you some amazing content, tell you some amazing things, give you some free information. How many of you like free? Because guess what? This whole event was free. You had to like free. So guess what? I want you to get ready, sit back, because we are getting ready to go to our next speaker, Mr. Derek Harper Sr. Mr. Derek Harper Sr., a native of Swainsboro, Georgia, is an entrepreneur that has been able to successfully launch quite a few business models. With his flagship being Derek Harper Enterprise, he is also responsible for founding the Credit Repair University, White Label, CRO, Automate My Flow, YULA, the Young Urban Leaders of America, Reach 1000, and the highly successful Point Boosters. His passion for systems and compliance is why lots of his peers respect him. His success with this has led to him becoming one of the most respected credit repair experts in the industry. Now, Mr. Harper helps entrepreneurs build, organize, document, and delegate their businesses, then set up internationally to reach 7 to 8 figures annually by incorporating virtual assistants and developers for full business footprints. Holding expert level experience in technology, he's always had a thirst for knowledge without being restricted to being bogged down with Labrador work. This led to Automate My Flow, where his company created businesses that allow fellow business owners to free up their time, generate revenue, and walk in their purpose. Mr. Harper accepts proudly the term veteran and servant because he is a proud Air Force veteran that has an insurmountable amount of love for this great country. Also, he loves the motto, make sure your servant's broom is bigger than your ego, because he knows that leading with a servant's heart allows a life of abundance. This mindset has allowed him to build many 8-figure businesses while pouring into the community and becoming a philanthropist. Mr. Harper is a 2-time TEDx speaker and a U.S. Air Force veteran who is a silent partner and investor in over 20 businesses. Introducing Derek Harper Sr. Mr. Derek Harper Sr., a native of Swain, Georgia, is an entrepreneur that has been able to successfully launch quite a few business models.
Hey, what's going on? Can you guys hear me?
We hear you, Derek.
Okay, yeah, I was waiting
Welcome
on.
to the stage.
Hey, what's going on? Now, yeah, I was waiting on. So I was just making sure they heard me from that end. Gotcha. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Derek Harper. Good thing is I don't have to introduce myself. I actually fail at that a lot because I hate talking about myself, but I like talking about serving and who I'm serving, right? So before we get started, I just want to do a little spot test. Everybody go ahead and put in the comments in the event and the stage if you're on both. Or where you tuning in from, so we can go ahead and get some shout outs to our city, right? You know, because we from all over the world and we got the pandemic going on. Everybody couldn't be up under the same roof. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody go ahead and get their city a shout out in the event that, you don't get it under normal circumstances. So we got some Harlem. What's going on, bro? Ash Cash. Man, that's my guy. Charlotte. That's what I'm talking about. Cali, New York. That's what I'm talking about. Texas. So I'm here. I'm not going to be long. I'm just here to serve and make sure that you guys got some information, tell you a little bit about myself, the things that I went through, and how I'm going to be able to use the struggles of what I went through to help you guys in whatever situation that you're in. So I just want you to kind of like travel with me back through time a little bit. I wasn't born with a silver spoon. I actually came up a little rough, but hey, weeping may endure for the night, but joy cometh in the morning, right? So just imagine getting ready to leave the Air Force and being in a situation where when you go into the military, they kind of give you everything. They give you cars and, 180 days in the military, you get VA loans and, so your credit don't have to be perfect, but it has to be good enough to get a VA loan to get a house. I was part of that generation. And so in the military, they give you stuff. So, got married early, married at 19 and made a promise because we had to elope. So, when you're dealing with battling with the dad of the woman that you're going to marry, you got to kind of prove yourself that you're going to be worthy of it. Right. So we eloped because it was kind of like, hey, it was him or me, right? That's what her daddy said. But so I promised her that, hey, I was going to take care of her. I was going to do this and that. Went into the military. Everything was good. And when you come from a town where it's not really any resources there, not really any mentors there, amazing town, small town, people get along, but you don't see millionaires there that's going to tell you everything's going to be all right. So, fast forward, we go through life and, get the house, get the car, and it's all about, hey, look what we're doing, right? And then just imagine pulling up because like George said, in the state of Georgia, 90 days or later on your mortgage, I didn't know that they actually been in this arbitration state that they can kind of take your house. So this is not even on the tax lien side because he specializes in that. I'm just talking about from the side of I couldn't pay the mortgage for 90 days because things went wrong, right? So therefore, I didn't know that they actually, when they tell you you got to get out and then you go through the process that people can actually come put you out. I didn't know that, right? So therefore, I was just, helping people with credit and things like that, but I didn't really know and understand and appreciate the value of it. So now let's go down this journey. Riding home one day after ignoring all of the signs and running from the sheriff. You see the sheriff, we actually had a formula. Like when the sheriff pulls up outside, we'll actually close the blinds real quick and we'll cut the TV off. Well, if you black and you came up in a household with like my grandma and them, when it's thunder and lightning outside, you like, get down, turn all the lights off. We did that when the sheriff pulls up. We had a formula, right? So if the sheriff comes, we actually used to, close the blinds, cut the lights off.
but they were trying to serve us, letting us know we got to go. And of course, we were hiding the car in the back of the house, right? And I know you wondering, like, why in the world are you going through all this, telling me all this, right? The reality is just because you're up without the right information, you would just be as bad as the people with the wrong information with a bunch of money. So, you know, it was kind of, I was in that. So we coming home one day after ignoring over and over, and we got our daughter in the car. She's in a, you know, child seat and things like that. And all of a sudden they're getting ready to put us out of our house. Like the house that I thought it was going to have forever. They foreclosed. Yeah. So they actually foreclosed on the house. And I was like, man, this is rock bottom. So all the way back to the story of me and my wife eloping, right? And her dad saying that, oh, you know, ain't nobody gonna raise you better than me and this and that. And I wanted to go and do my own way. Then watching my wife cry, like, you lost the house and you got furniture in there. And it's kind of like, we don't know. You don't plan, like we didn't have a hotel plan or anything like that. It's just me being real. So imagine having to go to her dad and say, hey, we need to borrow a few dollars, right? To go ahead and rent a U-Haul. We rent the U-Haul to eventually get the stuff that they put out. Now we have to come back because it was in the rain. So we come back, we pull in with the U-Haul. My wife pulls her Maxima in behind the U-Haul because we're getting the stuff. And then they come repo the car while we're picking our stuff up in the U-Haul. And I know everybody's like, man, that story is crazy, but that was my rock bottom, right? So my rock bottom moment came from the lack of understanding the power of using credit, right? The lack of, I'm just going to be able to use credit to like look good, to show people that we made it, instead of actually teaching and educating the right way, right? Because I didn't have the resources. Y'all got Be Free University right now. We didn't have those resources, right? So just imagine the car getting taken and us having to run the repo man down in the U-Haul truck just to get the baby seat out, right? So we get the baby seat out, and in order for us to be able to get anything, he said, I need the keys. So now turning the keys over is rock bottom. That was my literal rock bottom moment, right? So watching my wife cry, and it was just like, man, this is downhill. This is crazy. This is crazy. So that was life. But I'm big on learning that some of the things that guys put us through is not for punishment, for development. But when you're going through the fire, you don't understand, right? So when you're going in the fire, you don't understand that, like, you're getting developed, you're getting positioned to be a unique person that's going to be able to help people out of that fire, right? So what happened was, after that, we was at rock bottom. We had a U-Haul, and we rented the U-Haul for one day. Fell out with my father-in-law, and this, like I said, I'm gonna be transparent, right? We had the baby seat in the U-Haul. I kept the U-Haul for 5 more days because we didn't have transportation, right? So it was supposed to go back that Monday. We took it back that Friday. Oh well, right? But it allowed me, because now I had to go ahead and try to get an apartment, right? So people look at me now and they say, oh, millionaire. Millionaire is just a financial status. It's not a character. It's not the person, right? But you got to establish what type of person you are to actually establish becoming a millionaire. And I'm going to get to that in a second, right? Because the things that had to happen happened. But while I was in the fire, I didn't understand while it was happening, right? So a lot of people say, hey, credit guru. They say financial guru, but they don't understand why I became that, right? Because I wasn't the expert at that point. The reality was I had to start reading on what was going on, because I went to apply for an apartment and they said, no, bro, not with this credit. All right. So like I said, when you're in the military, you get the VA loan, you really don't focus on credit. The whole goal was just not messing it up. It wasn't a lifetime plan. Right. So now what we had to do is I started reading. And guess what I read? I read that because over the years that I was in the house, my neighbor a few houses down actually was the brothers with the developer. And I used to see Amy, who actually was the broker on the house, go down there. And I was like, man, hey, he was like, yeah, they married. So I found out through reading what's RESPA, right? It's, not to just break it down. It's basically any time that you're closing on a house, the settlement, whoever's getting what has to be disclosed. But they didn't disclose that they were married, which means that there was a conflict of interest, and she had a personal gain from his side of the agreement, right? And it meant that he was the developer who sold the house. She brokered the house, which means she got her brokerage fees, but she also had a conflict of interest. She had a gain in what he gained because she was married to him, and it had to be disclosed, and that was a RESPA violation. I would have never known that until I went through the struggle that I went through, start reading what I read and said, wow, that's RESPA. I remember when she was at Sean's house talking about this, and I challenged it, got it removed. So I literally was able to get a foreclosure. I'm not saying that I didn't foreclose on the house. We didn't have the money, right? But the fact that they didn't disclose that in the settlement agreement was a RESPA violation, and it caused it to get deleted. But the cool thing is, I was like, man, I wonder if there's something like this on cars, right? So now I started reading up on the cars. And when we went to Nissan, right? We got it financed by Capital One at that point. So the way that it works is when you go to like a GM or when you go to like a Nissan, they're what's called a financial broker at that point. When you go to the financial department, right? So a lot of people they don't understand the difference between a foreclosure, right? And a repossession and a non-repossession, right? So what started happening was I read, and then I realized that I signed the agreement with the Nissan broker, right? But the Nissan broker didn't work for Capital One. Capital One didn't have any interest in the car that I got, which means they never held possession of the car. So if I had financed through NEMAC or Nissan, Nissan, whatever, financial services or whatever. If I'd have financed through them, the representative at the Nissan dealership actually represented Nissan. So if I would have got the car under Nissan, it would have been a repossession because Nissan actually had the ownership of that car in the first place, right? But what happened at the car dealership when they sold it to Capital One, it was a contract sale, which means on a contract sale, it's considered a promissory, right? And I'm going to get to where I'm going to get. I'm just showing you how I read. So I was like, well, if that's a promissory, promissories are under different laws. Promissory just means that one person's signature is on that contract, right? Because a promissory is like a student loan. When you furnish it through the school or through the regular, through the federal government, and then they sell that and let somebody else service it. Or they push it to let somebody else service it, right? Which means that now that's why you have to sign a promissory note for them to be able to service that. When you get a mortgage is a promissory, right? Because when you close on the house, they sell that whole home contract. So it's considered a promissory. So this is why when I looked at my credit report and they foreclosed, they put it on my credit report as a repossession. They put it on there as a repossession. So in order to repossess, you have to actually have possession, which means that if it's a promissory, it's no such thing as a repossession. Only Nissan could have actually repossessed the car. It had to be considered a charge off. So when they say a repossession, redeemed and all of that, right? That means that they violated my rights because they actually reported that wrong. And I found out that there's no way they can repossess a car they never had possession of. So now, therefore, I went from losing it all, being at rock bottom, using what God was actually putting me through in a town that I hated to be in, around people that I didn't like to be around. I had to lose that house. I had to lose that car to be able to get the information, immediately turn around and share my story on Facebook. And it was MySpace and Facebook, kind of like at the same time. So I'm aging myself and how long that was. And it immediately turned around into God using my struggle and to turn it into a business. And that's where started Point Boosters, right? And it turned it into a multi-million-dollar company, right? But let's back it up a little bit. Now, how that happened. We got really ignorant after we got our life back together, but it was a smart ignorant, right? Because now, once we got the foreclosure removed, then immediately getting the repossession removed because of the rights that we actually had in place of them putting it on the report the wrong way, our scores jumped back to like 750, 760. I immediately went out and bought a Jaguar. I know y'all gonna be like, man, that is not good financial advice. And got my wife a 650 BMW. But this time we did it right. They had an app called Relay Rides at that point. Y'all probably know this app called Turo right now, right? But it was called Relay Rides then. It was way before Turo. A lot of people going to teach you Turo, but they don't understand. Relay Rides was started out in San Francisco. So we found out something. We found out that people really like to fly into Atlanta and rent Jaguars, and the rental car company didn't have Jaguars. People really like to come in and rent 650 BMWs, and the rental car places didn't have 650 BMWs. At the time, our scores were 750 to 800 because of those mistakes. Just because our rights were violated, we were able to get it together, right? And we were able to get those cars. The Jaguar was only paying $800 a month for. Her 650 BMW, she was paying $700 a month for. After Relay Rides, we were clearing about $1,900 a month per car. You see what I'm saying? So $1,900 a month for the BMW and about $17 for the Jag because I was paying a little more on it. And it stayed in the shop more than it actually stayed out. This is not me bashing Jags or anything, and I think somebody probably put that in the comments. But the thing is that cleared out $3,500 of profit up just by using credit. And that taught me that $3,500 freed up every month without me having to work for it. And then I start asking people, hey, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but how much do you make? Well, I'm making about $800 a week. And I was like, man, that's $3,200 a month. So you mean to tell me that I was able to use credit to leverage something that was going to give me a return more than what I had to go and work for? That's crazy. So I'm like, so you mean to tell me that when things are going wrong, I don't have to worry about clocking in 40 hours and looking over my shoulder on if I'm going to get cut or not? And it was basically, that's what it was. So we went out and got 2 cars apiece right after that, and then start repeating the process. And then we learned about something called Airbnb. So we literally used the cars to pay for the houses, to go ahead and pay for the house that we live in and to fund the lifestyle that we had, to take the profit, to launch the business and all the business expenses. You know what's crazy? A lot of people are scared to build wealth with their business because they can't take risk with their business because they're saving from their job to actually put money into the business so that when they take a risk on their job, no more money in the business, and all of a sudden they out of business because they don't have the money to fund it. And so many of us take so much work and take so much mess thrown at us from our bosses to where we never free because we scared to make a mistake on their job to be free because we can't pay for that car that's going to be able to cause us to go to work to pay for the house that we don't even like. So now that when you use credit the right way to be able to establish wealth to fund your lifestyle, and they say, hey, you fired, you can say, well, hey, I'm glad now I got my 40 hours to spend on myself versus anybody else. Let me do my research. So the crazy thing about it is you have to make sure that you're not spending the money or spending credit and things like that on things that's going to make other people rich. It's 3 pieces of things that people use to invest in, right? And so let me ask you a quick question. And I know we're short on time, so I'm trying to run through it as much as I can, right? So let me ask you a quick question. What's more important, time or money, right? You watch the intro, right? And a lot of people say, well, hey, you know, time now, right? Because you watch the intro. And for the people who saying money, they don't understand that time and money are both currencies, right? Time, cash, debit card, all of that same currency. If I go and put a debit card in the machine and my debit card has a $2,000 limit on it and I take $2,000 in cash out, I didn't grow with that currency at the same time. I just traded one currency for another, but I didn't gain wealth. And then a person who's going to actually be more financially stable or who got the better deal on a job, a person making $100 an hour or a person making $500 an hour on their job, who makes the most money? It's simple math, right? A person making $100 an hour on their job or $500 an hour on their job, right? So somebody go ahead and put that in the comments. The crazy thing is one might say the person making $500 an hour is making more than the person that's making $100 an hour when that's not true. All it is that person that make $100 an hour really made zero at the end of the day because they just said that they were going to trade their time at $100 per hour, right? When the person who sold it for $500 an hour really didn't make more profit. They just sold their time at $500 an hour. Same ATM card, currency, time, trading it for cash. If you're not using that to create more cash and more development, there's no way that you can scale time. Right? $100 or $500 an hour. It doesn't matter what you're making per hour if your time is included or considered in there. So one of the things that I learned is people invest 3 things to become wealthy or 3 things to survive upon. You're going to go ahead without removing 2. And I know George is going to go into this and it's going to really blow you away. But you got 3 paths of investment. If you can't remove 2 paths of investment, you will never be wealthy. So somebody put that in the comments. You will never be wealthy needing all 3. You will never be wealthy needing all 3 because thing is you need time, you need money, or you need credit. So now let's look at this. So that person spends 40 hours, right, to go to work to create cash. They just gave time and then they got cash and then they got credit. So now they went to the Nissan dealership to get a car, not an investment car, but they got a car to get to work. So what just happened is you spend time, 40 hours a week, to get cash, whatever you spent the 40 hours a week, which means they offset each other. And then you use your credit to go buy that car to actually duplicate the process, right? So now you got a $500 a month payment, right? So you're sitting there with a $500 payment. It's not $500. If you're making $10 an hour, it's $50, 50 hours a month that you're paying for that car. It's not $500, right? So what started happening is I got to figure out how can I replace that? And what I'm talking about is if you need all three, what's going to happen when the pandemic hits and then now you go from 40 hours a week down to 10 hours a week? So now you done lost time. And because you traded time for money, you lost money. And because you traded money for, spending the money on the car, that Nissan that you got to pay for, you risk your time, you risk your credit, and you risk your cash because now you got a monthly payment on that, which means that when my time got cut, my money got cut, and then now my credit took a hit, all because of one thing can control all three when I don't remove two. I hope I ain't talking over y'all head, but I want to talk about how can we fix this process. You can only give time to make wealth, only give credit to make wealth, or only give money to make wealth. You can't give all three because all three is actually was what America set up for you to go poor, right? And I just showed you that downhill spiral behind a pandemic making you go poor, right? So let me get rid of cash, all right? Which means that now I went to the dealership and I got two cars, which means that I just used my credit for, but I turned around and put them on Turo and then let them make the money that's going to pay for my house. I got rid of cash, right? And then I got rid of time, which means that I no longer have to work for it and spend money there. I was just able to use my credit to build a wealth, right? Look at Walmart of how they're going to always be able to survive. Walmart don't own Coca-Cola. They don't own Charmin. They don't own Tide. They don't own Gatorade. They don't own none of that, right? But what they do is they have such high credit lines. People come in there with those credit lines being so high, they get stuff in bulk rate. You come in there and spend your cash. And then therefore they getting those tops. Tops means like per Gatorade top, 15 cents because they buying it in bulk with high lines of credit. You coming in there buying it $1 a top. They're profiting 6 to 1, 7 to 1, painting their people off and then walking away with the profit without having to do anything. And the only thing that they use was credit, right? I've never seen anybody save their way into becoming wealthy. You can save your way into becoming a millionaire, but that's not wealth, right? Wealth means that it's going to be able to continue to contribute money without you being present generation to generation. So what I want to get you guys' mindset stuck on is I got to be able to remove 2 of the 3 out of time, money, and credit. Now, let me ask you a quick question. If you lose $50,000 because you invested in a business, how many people in that business that you spent invested in going to come back and say, hey, bro, I know you made a mistake. Here go $35,000 back. It happens to the best of us. None of them, because you gave your cash, right? So, and the thing is the people that's saving their money to become wealthy on a job that's getting a 30% from federal taxes, all of these taxes. Now you're literally saving at a 30% interest rate, but interest is taken by the government before you even get access to it versus taken by the bank where you can actually get the write-off from. So, and I'm gonna get back to there in a second. So the thing is you got to be able to contribute your credit, right? To be able to get something that's going to return an investment higher than the interest rate that you got to pay and duplicate the process. And therefore you will never be able to be broke again. And so therefore you got to get that mindset of if it requires me to use my credit, my time, and my money, I will never build wealth. So somebody put it in the comments. If I got to use all 3, I'll never be wealthy. If I got to use all 3, I'll never be wealthy. So therefore, this is why when you start looking at the markets and looking at trends and looking at what people do, if you were able to use the bank's money, right, and life really happened, I ain't talking about going out creating no scams, right? I'm just saying if I was able to go out and get a $50,000 loan and then life just didn't work out in my business. Now, if I gave them my cash and 50,000 didn't work out, they ain't coming back telling me I'm gonna give you 30 back. Because you just a good guy. Everybody in this thing for themselves. We trying to feed our family. But if you messed that bank loan up at $50,000 and you was really trying to use that to build a business and life really happened and you don't have those assets, guess what? You could sell to that loan. right? You can literally settle that. If you had a $50,000 debt out there with a creditor and things like that, and you got $15,000 to your name, and you consider filing bankruptcy, guess what you just did? Hey, I got $15,000 to my name. Now you can settle that debt for $15,000. All of a sudden, that $35,000 overage that if you would have saved and spent 30% interest due to taxes that you already paying on it, that's getting taken out on the front end, is a whole difference, because they might make a mistake in showing the difference in what you paid off. And then when they update, when you settled it, and they don't have any interest to be able to sue you on it because you made a settlement agreement of 15,000 out of that 50, guess what? It's probably a good chance that they won't update it correctly, and you can be able to get it removed from your credit file to start over. And you're talking to a person who started over, who lost his house, who lost his car, and was able to build wealth until we did $13 million last year, only from wealth of building up from credit. Nobody gave me $1 million. Nobody gave me tens of thousands of dollars. And if anybody on here watching from Swainsboro, they know how I came up. They know that I came up in a house with both of my parents. I love them to death. They were on drugs. We used to have to jump over the holes in the floor, hoping that we don't get bit by rats, right? So the thing is we wanted to make sure that if I got this information, and I always told this, if I got this information, I was going to be able to give this information to somebody else. And because now that you got this information and you know that you got to use credit to build wealth, you got to use somebody else's risk to build wealth instead of your own work, time, and credit, and making sure that you're actually losing out, burning yourself out at the end, and nobody's going to win but the person who's actually building on your back, but you. But now let me go back into a mindset of community though, right? Because now when you're talking about community, right? A lot of us actually want to be the first person to get that Lexus and pull up at church to stun on everybody. I'm giving you guys the game. Through this 3 days of conference, I need every one of y'all to commit. And I want y'all to say, I'm going to be here. I'm going to invest and be free. And they ain't paying me to sell y'all nothing. But with all the stuff that George is offering y'all will be fools not to go ahead and invest in that for $140 something a month. I wish they had that when I was there, because it would have actually caused me not to go through what I went through, right? But the thing is let's not just bring us in there, bring our friends in there. Now think about this. I'm supposed to wear my Reach 1000 shirt. And Reach 1000 means I can't reach 1 million people, but I can reach 1,000 people that can reach 1,000 people together. We can reach 1 million people. So instead of trying to be the one that's pulling up in that Nissan, the one that's pulling up in that Lexus and church, what would happen if you get you and 10 of your friends to say, hey, let's come together. Let's learn all of this stuff that we learned through Be Free. Let's invest in ourselves. Let's not take this for granted, right? Now, all of a sudden, let's all of us go ahead and get access to $50,000 in the bank. Now, all 10 of us got $500,000 that we can go invest in. We can buy the block. We can buy the skating rink, put our kids in the skating rink, hire them, let that money come back into the household. That's how you build a community. So when a little black kid dies, instead of marching, we can threaten to take 10 businesses away from the community, because now it starts with 10 people building one. That 10 people go get another 10 people, invest with their credit to use that credit to build wealth. Now you ain't got to join everybody MLM. You're actually building the infrastructure in these communities. You got 10 and you got 100 businesses in the community with y'all kids working in there. And you ain't got to worry about nobody bringing the skating rink. You invest to put the skating rink there, put your kids in there, let them. That's what you got to do. Because the thing is until we adopt that mindset, we can be talking about black wealth all day long, but we got to be the exercise. We got to be the ones exercising black wealth by saying, hey, you, instead of me stunting on you, bro, I can build with you. Let's sit together in the Starbucks. And if that Starbucks don't want the black kids sitting in there and they looking crazy and they want to put you out, let's build a Starbucks competitor to say everybody welcome across the street. Because the thing is until we do this, it's no way in the world we're going to be able to get our community back. And if we don't get our community back, then we're going to be complaining about it. Stop marching, start investing, start building ourselves, right? Because we're the ones responsible for it. Grab your 10, let that 10 grab that 10. Y'all ain't got to be out there selling everybody's MLM. Nothing against MLMs, but an MLM will not give you full control. And I'm not bashing that, but you can get full control by getting 10 businesses. If the mayor don't do what you need him to do, threaten to take those businesses away and watch what happens at that point. You got the power, you're getting the resource, you're getting $1 million worth of information on here, but it's up to you to go ahead and say, I'm going to be the leader in my community. I'm going to take my people with me. We're going to reach 1,000 and we're going to actually take over the communities ourselves. It's up to you. It's a lot of weak people out there, but there's so many strong people out here. And if you don't become the one that's being strong, you're going to be run over. But I tell you this, You got the power to be able to create change. You got a 3-day conference going on. I know I opened it up after George, but I hope I ignite somebody fire. But this is bigger than us. It's about, we're going to be long gone. Nobody knew how much Dr. King was worth that he passed. We don't know if he drove a Cutlass or a Cadillac. We don't know if he was in Louis Vuitton or whatever, right? But we knew the impact that he had. So stop trying to look the part. Let's get together and be the part. Use everything that we're going to learn on this conference. Get your 10 people. Let that 10 people get that 10 people. Buy these communities back. You got full control. They're just not going to tell you how to do it. You're going to learn through it step by step. And I'm here for you. So, I know that I try to get everything in the time that I had allotted, but I guarantee you that we're going to be able to get the community back together. All right.
Y'all, let's give it up for Mr. Derek Harper Sr. What an amazing session of content he just gave us. You guys, listen, did you hear him? He said, don't just look the part, but let's be the part. And what I say to that is that part. Let us be the part. We are so much stronger together than we would ever be apart. So, Mr. Harper, we thank you for being with us this evening. You guys put your hands together for him one more time. Right now, we're going to have another Be Free University testimonial.
Hi, my name is Sharnella. I am on the DC platform. I'm actually an ambassador. And when I tell you, when I first heard about it, I couldn't help but join because there are so many great things, so many opportunities, so many great teachers on this platform. One of my teachers is Katina. She is so awesome. Her energy, her excitement, her knowledge is contagious. She taught me not only about my personal credit, but my business credit. I want my personal score to be at 850, but I also want my business credit to be up there as well. I learned stuff about it like the virtual address, the phone number, the online website, the brick and mortar, the Dun & Bradstreet, which I never heard of in my life. Another thing is when it comes to personal credit, who would have thought in order for you to dispute stuff and get it off, you would have to freeze your LexisNexis in order to do that? That's a tip. That's a powerful tip that can possibly get everything off the first try. So it worked for me, and if I were you, I would come and join because there's so much to learn. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye. Hi, my name is Sharnella.
Credit rocket. Credit rocket. Credit rocket. Credit rocket. Credit rocket is one of the most effective tools in the credit repair industry. Pending Credit Rocket is one of the most effective tools in the credit repair industry. Simply upload your license, crop it, and voila, your license is now done. Now let's pick a strategy to dispute a negative account, a repossession, a bankruptcy, a medical debt, a public record, student loans, inquiries, or foreclosures. Strategies are all laid out for you step by step. Now, over the next 32 seconds, I'm going to show you how you can customize your own credit repair letter just by entering your information into your screen and signing it. And guess what? Voila, your letter is now done. We have made the Credit Rocket so easy and effective, your grandma can do it. Simply combine your license and your letter by clicking this button. And now let's send from your mobile device without ever going to the post office. Attach your license and your letter and send it certified. Now there's over 35 letters and strategies that you can pick from right here in the Credit Rocket. Pending Credit Rocket is one of the most effective.
Hello, my name is David Hill. I just joined Be Free University, and boy, was I amazed. Learned about it from Clubhouse, jumped on this Be Free University, and boy, was I amazed. I went in there for tax liens, then I found out that they have information about how to fix your credit. Like how to fix it, not just a little bit, not here and there. Like here's the tax law, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. We were talking 800 credit scores, totally excited about it. Next, I jumped into some other classes. What was that all about? That was talking about stock options, Forex trading. I didn't even know anything about it. They walked me through step by step how to set up my account. I'm only a couple weeks into this thing, and I love it. I'm learning so much information that I can use, information that my wife is training me to do. Everyone can do this. Be Free University. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go.
Flame Newton. Katina Basie. Rose Lewis. These are our Be Free University School of Credit educators. Now here's the man with the bag. Here's the man with the bag.
Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Man, wasn't Derek Harper absolutely amazing? Shout out to you, King. Amazing job. Hey, guys, I'm here to give away another prize. Are y'all excited? Are y'all excited? Are y'all excited? Listen, what we're giving away now is your choice. It's your preference of Apple or Android watch. It's your preference, Apple or Android watch. And it actually goes to Devontae Wilson of Charlotte, North Carolina. Give it up for North Carolina. Mr. Devontae Wilson, congratulations. You win an Apple Watch or Android watch of your preference. God bless.
All right, there's the man with the bag. Devontae probably is a smart guy, so he'll call you guys and ask for an Apple device. We have that debate all the time. Apple. How many Apple users are there in the house? How many Android users are there in the house? We only heard that because George is loud. All right, congratulations to Mr. Devontae Wilson. I want to just take a second because that video was so quick and the audio was missing, just to acknowledge my credit educators in the School of Credit. Again, I'm going to ask him to stand because he's in the room. I want you to stand, Mr. Flame Newton. And yes, that's his name. Stand up, Flame. All right. Rose Allure Lewis is also here. All right, and we acknowledge virtually the credit lady Katina. We love each and every one of them, but they are blowing up the School of Credit. So I'm telling you right now, if that's where you need to be, then you need to check out these educators because they are going to change your life. Right now, I want you guys to get ready. Get ready because I heard that this gentleman is exciting, that his energy is exciting, that it's conveyed through every message that he brings. So I want you to prepare now for Ash Cash. Ash Cash Exantis is one of the nation's top financial educators, personal finance expert, business coach, motivational speaker, former 15-year banking executive, and the author of many books, including 4 Amazon.com bestsellers. Dubbed as the financial motivator, he uses a culturally responsive approach in teaching financial literacy, wealth building, and entrepreneurship. He is the founder and chief educator at Mind Right Money Management, a financial education and media company that blends psychology and personal finance with music, pop culture, and relevant news to help people manage their money better in order to live the life that they want. Through his message of fiscal responsibility, entrepreneurship, and wealth empowerment, he has become a regular speaker at national conferences across the country. Ash has been featured on popular national media outlets such as CNN, The New York Times, WSJ, American Banker, CNBC, TheStreet.com, Enterprise, Essence Magazine, Ebony, BET, Pix 11, Morning News, and countless others. He is the host of the Ash Cash Show, which is a daily live financial news show that airs every Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.ashcashtv.com. The show can also be found in podcast form on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Play, and Stitcher. Above all of his credentials, accolades, and titles, Ash is simply known for helping people maximize their full potential. For more information about Ash, please visit www.iamashcash.com. Now introducing Ash Cash.
Hey, how y'all doing? Excited to be here. Thank y'all so much for having me. Can y'all hear me? Let's see if y'all can hear me. Type in if you can hear me. Let's see. Show me in the chat if y'all can hear me. If y'all can hear me well. I see Aretha. Hello, Jacqueline, Branson, Jacqueline again. Thank you, Kimberly. Yes, Kimberly. All right, perfect. All right, let's rock out. All right, so thank y'all so much for being here. All right, there we go. I feel the love. And so hopefully y'all ready. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all ready for this energy because today we're going to talk about 11 steps to being free, right? So 11 steps to being free. And so I'm excited, right? I am Ash Cash, author of over 8 books. And here, just in case, here are my social media platforms so you guys could connect. What we're going to do today, right? We're going to talk about paradigms, right? We're going to talk about your paradigm. And a paradigm is a set of assumptions, concepts, values, and practices that constitute a way of viewing the reality for the community that shares them. And that's your belief system. And so what I want to do today is talk about mindset because, you heard my brother Derek, talk about the importance, right, of being able to the importance of being financially free. George talked about being free. This whole conference is about being free. So how to become free? Number one, it starts with the mindset. It is impossible, right? It's not even possible. It's impossible for you to be financially free if you don't have the right mindset. And so if you don't have the right paradigm, it's not going to happen. And so when I say a set of assumptions, concepts, values, and practices that constitute a way of viewing reality, right, in your belief system, is that Henry Ford once said, there's those who think they can and those who think they can't, and they're both right. I'm going to say that again. There are those who think they can and those who think they can't, and they're both right. And so it's really about your mindset. It's about your belief system. It's about, what do you want to focus on? Your focus is what's going to help you become financially free. And so real quick background, born and raised in Harlem, New York City, in the projects, youngest of 3, to single parent home, all of the things that you could think of, growing up in an urban environment, been involved with, decided at 17 years old, I got a job, working at a video store. So I've been an entrepreneur all my life, 8 years old, packing bags at the local supermarket, 12 years old, mixtapes and t-shirts. 17, got a job at a video store. Rest in peace, the Blockbuster Videos. Decided that, somebody, one day, one of the assistant managers came in and said, hey, they're hiring for tellers here at Chase Bank. I went to Chase Bank, got a job as a teller, and the rest is history. Been able to do every position within banking, from, teller to personal banker, private banker, branch manager, CEO of a credit union. But the one thing that stuck to me always was my position as a private banker. I worked as a private banker. My most wealthiest client was worth $22 million. And one of the things I learned, similar to what George said earlier, what Derek talked about, is that you do not get wealthy by exchanging time for money, right? It's about having those assets, and that belief system for me change, right? Because when I was coming up, I was free. You had to look a certain way. You had to come from a certain background. You had that, in order to have wealth, you had to have a big house. You had to have a lot of cars and all those, all those things. But realize it's not really about how you look. It's not really about what you have. It's really about the mindset. How do you take your mindset from one of lack, from one of working for money, to one of, abundance, right? Abundance is your birthright. And so I want to talk about the difference between being rich and wealthy. We're going to do a quick exercise, and then I'm going to give you 11 steps, right? I'm going to give you 11 steps to financial freedom. All right. Y'all ready? All right, cool. And so what is the difference between being rich and wealthy? And so poverty, right? Here, when I think about poverty, I think about praying and hoping you get by, right? If you pray and hope you get by, then you are poor. If you don't take your life into your own hands, then that's poverty. That's poor thinking. That's poverty mindset, right? If you're just waiting back and hoping somebody gives you something, that's not the way you become wealthy. Rich, I don't subscribe a number to. And so if you wake up every single day, if you have a job, if you're able to, to wake up and work and exchange your time for money, then you are rich. Wealth, though, is changing that relationship with money. And so I want us to change our relationship with money. And what does that mean? Instead of you working for money, right, you have to make sure that money is working hard for you. And so money and success is a mindset. And so I'm gonna ask y'all to do something, right? And so I'm glad that we have a live audience, right? We have a live audience, and we also have an online audience. So I'm gonna ask everybody to do something. Y'all wasn't ready for this. I know y'all wasn't ready, but I need you to commit, right? Before I tell you what we're gonna do, I want everybody to type in the chat. I am committed. I am committed. I am committed. I want you to commit to something, right? Because I want to help change your money mindset. In order to change your money mindset, it's the conversations that you have with yourself. Most important. Says I'm committed. Who else? Who else is committed? Because I need you to do. All right, there we go. Aretha, Monica, Eugenia, Mel, Dia, Tyrone, Shonda, Dale. All right, Tony. All right, let's go. And so everybody, no matter where you are, so people in the live audience, right? If you're in the live audience, I want you to stand up. Wherever you are right now, I need you to stand. Wherever you're watching this conference, I need you to stand, and we're gonna do a call and response. I'm gonna say an affirmation, and I need you to say the affirmation back to me. Normally in the live setting, I can hear you, I can feel you, but I'm gonna hear you and feel you cyberly, right? Through virtually. I'm gonna hear you and feel you. Y'all ready? All right, let's do it. All right, number one, I think like a millionaire. All right, so I'm going to say it, and I want you to say it back. No matter where you are, I want you to stand up, and I need energy. Right? I need you to feel the energy. Ready? I think like a millionaire. I have a millionaire mind. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. I love myself unconditionally. I am building a financially stable future for myself and my family. My dreams are coming true. I am willing to accept the best that life has to offer. I am open to opportunities. I am a special person with much to offer to the world. I appreciate all that I have. I always do my best. Always. Dreams are coming true. I manage my money wisely. I focus on my goals. My self-worth and net worth are building every day. I'm going to say that one more time. I love the flow of it, right? My self-worth and net worth are building every day. I believe in unlimited possibilities. All right, round of applause for you guys. Round of applause. I want y'all to focus on that, right? Because the words that you say to yourself are the most important words. The most important things that you can ever say is the words that you say to yourself. And so now I want to run through 11 steps. Right? 11 steps. It's called Live Life Now. If you have a pen, a paper, or even take some screenshots, I want you to really understand, because if you follow steps, this is your step to financial freedom. This is your step to creating the life that you want, the life of being free, right? And so I work with acronyms, right? And so Live Life Now, these 11 steps. Step number one, I want you to list your financial goals. Step number 2, I want you to ignite your savings. Step number 3, I want you to visualize your budget. Step number 4, I want you to examine your options. Step number 5, I want you to learn the basics. Step number 6, I want you to imagine your success. Step number 7, I want you to find an advisor. Step number 8, I want you to execute your plan. Step number 9, I need you to normalize positive thoughts. Step number 10, observe and change when necessary. And then last but not least, I want you to win on purpose. All right, financial goals. So number 1, I want you to list your financial goals, right? It is not possible for you to be free if you don't know where you want to go, right? There's a quote that says a good financial plan is a roadmap that shows us exactly how the choices we make today will affect our future. So imagine seeing these signs, not knowing which direction to go, right? That's what happens when you're not listing your financial goals. When you don't know where you want to go, you might as well just right? You have to be intentional. Financial freedom has to be, you have to tell, like, what does financial freedom look like? The truth of the matter is that financial freedom for Dr. Rashida is different from financial freedom for George, or financial freedom for Derek, or financial freedom for Ash, right? It looks different. And so I need you to define it. What does it mean? And so number 1, I want you to break down your goals. I want you to break them down. You have short-term goals, which is 7 years. You have long-term goals, which is 7+ years. So I want you to break down your goals. What are those things that you want to accomplish between the next 1 to 3 years? What are the things that you want to accomplish between 3 and 7 years? What are the plus years? Then, once you have your financial goals, I want them to be SMART goals. I want them to be specific. I want them to be measurable. I need them to be achievable. I need to be realistic. No longer are we just saying, I want to make more money. No longer are we just saying that, I want to, live a better life. I want you to be specific, right? What does more money sound like, right? Is it an extra 100,000 a year? Is it 200,000 a year? Do you want to be in the top 1% at 400,000 a year? Like, what are your specific goals, right? And can you measure it, right? Is it achievable based on the actions and the things that you're doing? Is it achievable? Is it realistic or it should be relatable, right? Is it relatable to how you want to live your life? And then what is the time frame? At what time do you want to make this happen? Number 2, I want you to, right? In order to be financially free, I want you to ignite your savings. Howard Ruff said it wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. And if you're familiar with the story, you know that prior to the rain, Noah got prepared, right? I want you to get prepared. And how do you get prepared, right? So a lot of people call this an emergency fund. I don't call it an emergency fund because an emergency is something that you're not prepared for, right? And so if you're going to get prepared for the rainy day, if it comes, it's not an emergency because you were ready. And so words have power, so we're calling it a financial freedom fund. And so how do you set up your financial freedom fund? Number 1, I want you to put aside a set amount. I like to put a percentage because it's easier that way, right? And so 10% of any income that comes in, put that away. I say, you should have 6 to 8 months of expenses liquid, meaning available to you at all times, right? That should be the goal. Don't fret if you don't have that immediately, but that should be the goal. That should be your starting point. Some people have more than that. Some people have a year worth. Some people have 2 years worth, right? But I want you to get to a space where you are planning to have 6 to 8 months of expenses liquid available to you in an account. That's the goal. And then once you reach there, you continue to do it so that way you can start investing, right? But you should also invest at the same time. But I also want you to make it automatic because I don't want you to have to think about it. I want you to make it inconvenient. I don't want it to be in the same bank where you have your checking account. I want it to be in a separate account. I want it to be in an account that you have to drive to. I don't want you to have a debit card for your savings account, for your emergency fund, right? I want you to make it inconvenient. And then lastly, I want you to forget about it. Your budget. Right now that you know what your financial plans are, now that you have your emergency fund set up or your financial freedom fund set up, I want you to visualize your budget, right? I want you to visualize this thing that you want. I want you to see it. I want you to feel it. I want you to believe in it. I want you to make it your mental blueprint and then begin, right? A lot of times when I work with people, in my previous life of being a financial coach, a lot of times people will sit and not, just taking things off of their budget, but not realizing what it takes for them to actually, stick to the budget. You have to be able to see it. And so how do you set up a budget? Number one, I want you to gather all your financial statements. I want you to write income. I want you to create a list of monthly expenses. I want you to total your monthly income and monthly expenses. I want you to make adjustments to expenses. I want you to review your budget monthly, and I want you to review your needs versus your wants. Some questions to ask yourself: do you really need it? If you get it, how long will you use it? How long will you enjoy it? Are there other ways to get it? What if you don't get it? Will your life still be okay? Number four, I want you to examine your options. This is where it gets good, right? The average millionaire has 7 sources of income, right? 7 sources of income. And so if you, in today's day, if you just want to be, you don't even have to be a millionaire, but if you want to have some form of financial freedom, I need you to have at least 3 to 4 sources of income. And so how do you do that? Right? I want you to start active and build passive, right? So someone like me, someone like Eric, someone like George, we didn't come from money, right? And so we had to work our way, right? We had to work and figure things out. And so number one, I want you to work to learn and earn, right? And so as you're working, as you're learning, as you're earning, I then want you to gain the knowledge, right? Like, what are you good at, right? What are you being paid for when you work a 9 to 5, right? What is the value that you bring to that company? And when you look at the value, that's what you could use. That skill is your value, right? And I want you to use that knowledge, the knowledge that you're learning, to solve a problem, right? What problem are you solving? Once you identify what problem that you're solving, people will now see your value, and now you don't have to exchange time for money. You can exchange value for money, right? And so if someone charges, $10,000 an hour or $20,000 an hour, you're not paying for their knowledge, or you're really paying for their mistakes, right? They've been through everything, they know everything, so they can save you some time, right? When someone hires Derek and says, hey, Mr. Harper, I need help. I need you to help me build a business in a box. What are they paying for? He's made all the mistakes already. He's built, multiple 8-figure businesses already. And so he's giving you the shortcut. And so when somebody hires him as a coach, they're literally paying for his mistakes because he made them already. They're skipping the line. It's like the VIP. They got to wait on line, right? And so what knowledge do you have, and how do you solve that problem? Once you solve that problem, make money from that problem, all right, from the solution. Now I want you to use that money to make money, right? Which means I want you to buy income-producing assets that work for you while you sleep. And I want you to repeat that process. And so what streams, and I know Damon of passive income streams, we have interest, right, from a variety of loans. Either it's individuals, peer-to-peer lending, private notes, bonds, things of that nature. You have dividends, right? So if you're investing, or if you have a partnership, the investment or the partnership could pay dividends. You have capital gains from a sale of an investment. You have royalties, which means that you create a product or service, right, and you sell it over and over again, right? As you see behind me, I'm an author, right? I've written 8 books, 4 of them are bestsellers. Each month, I'm able to make residual income off of something I did one time, right? And then I get paid for it over and over again. So that's royalties. Rental income, right, from real estate. And I know Be Free University, teaches you how to build wealth for real estate, right? And so if you're buying and holding, and then now you're renting that out and people are paying you, that's a form of passive income. And then business income, right? And so, but be careful with business income, because sometimes if you build a business, right? Without building a system, like my brother Derek will say, you will literally create a job for yourself. And so you want to make sure that the business income is paying you through business, right? Through systems and automation. Right? The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. What does that mean? That means that if after this pandemic, you are still running your business the same way before the pandemic, then you've lost. Right? There is a new normal. And every time things shift, you have to learn, unlearn, and relearn, and then apply. And so how do you do this? I want you to read, READ. I want you to research, right? I want you to engage others, right? Whether it's asking questions, whether it's survey, whether it's selling stuff. I want you to ask questions, and then I want you to deal with the unknown. Number 6, I want you to imagine your success. I'm a big believer in the law of attraction, but it's not just a law of attraction like, let me think about it, then it's going to be so. It's really your thoughts and your subsequent actions become things, right? Your thoughts, your words, and your actions become things. And so I want you to imagine your success. I want you to see it, right? When I was a teller, I knew I was going to be a branch manager because I saw a branch manager, right? When I was a branch manager, I knew I was going to be a CEO because I saw what it looked like, right? When I decided to be an entrepreneur, I knew I was going to be a successful entrepreneur because I knew what it looked like. I knew what it looked like. And so I want you to imagine your success. And how do you imagine your success? Vision board, right? And so with vision boards, with a vision board, you're literally just putting the vision out there, right? You're literally saying, this is what I want, and now you put it in your mind's eye, and then you go from there, right? I want to share my vision board. Are we family yet? Can I share my vision board? Type yes in the chat. Type family in the chat if we could do that, right? If I could share my vision board with y'all without judgment, though, no judgment. Let me see if I can share my vision board. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Aretha. Thank you, Julius. Thank you, Tyrone. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Elizabeth, Shane, Mel, Davida. All right, thank you. All right, so let me share my vision board with y'all. Right? And so share it, right? You have to have the vision, the Grammy Award winning, Nobel Peace Prize, New York Times bestseller, Emmy Award, national bookseller, right? You have to have the vision. You have to have the vision and make it plain, right? Write it, make it plain. Number 7, I want you to find an advisor. Denzel Washington says, show me a successful individual and I'll show you someone who had real positive influence in his or her life. I don't care what you do for a living. If you do it well, I'm sure there was someone cheering you on or showing you a way, a mentor. I mean, everybody should have a mentor. Everybody should have a business coach, right? Everybody should have somebody connected to you that's going to show you the way, right? When I was coming up and hanging around the same old people, I wasn't able to become successful because I didn't know what success looked like. But then as I started getting mentors and putting myself around other people who were successful, those people showed me the way. Number 8, I want you to execute your plan. Nothing that I said today is going to work if you don't execute, right? You can write everything down. You could think everything you want. You could say anything you want. But if you don't execute, right, the riches are in the execution. So I want you to execute your plan, right? Felix Dennis once said, ideas don't make you rich. The correct execution of ideas does. And you got to think about it, right? Action changes things, right? You have to. Number 9, I want you to normalize positive thoughts. Because on your journey, right, as you're building passive income, as you're building multiple streams of income, as you're building businesses, right, I can attest to it. I know other entrepreneurs can attest to it, right, that it isn't a cakewalk. Right, there are some ups and downs as it relates to entrepreneurship, but I want you to normalize positive thoughts. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be heart. Right? Think about the pandemic. There are some people who, you know, rest in peace to everybody who lost their life during the pandemic. But there are people that were just soaking, right, and just in, doom. But there were other people who said, you know what, this is the situation, but I'm still going to make the best of it. And so, as long as you have breath in your body, that means you have purpose. As long as you have breath in your body, that means you still matter, right? That you are looking, right, normalizing positive thoughts. Number 10, I want you to observe and change when necessary, right? Set the plan to get it and not kick your feedback. I want you to observe, right? Are your financial goals the same? Is your budget still working? Do you need a shift in your mindset? Do you have enough businesses? Do you have enough, sources of income, right? I cannot change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails and always reach my destination. And then lastly, I want you to win on purpose, right? Winning, it starts with the mind. And so SZA once says, I don't have any control over what actually happens, except for that I have a full control over my life, right? Over myself and why I'm here. That's all that matters. So all that matters is that you're winning on purpose. All that matters is that you're here to be the best that you could be, right? You are here to prove God. You are here to be greatness on display. You are made in the image and likeness of the Most High. In the image and likeness of God, you have to prove God by being your self. Greatness on display. And so I want you to win on purpose. I want you to know that the win has happened the moment that you said you wanted to win. The moment you declared that you are a winner, that's when the win happened. And now all you have to do is move like a winner, talk like a winner, become a winner, and the win is guaranteed. All right, so the 11 steps to financial freedom. Live life now. I want you to live life now. I want you to list your financial goals. I want you to ignite your savings. I want you to visualize your budget. I want you to examine your options. I want you to learn the basics. I want you to imagine your success. I want you to find an advisor. I want you to execute your plan. I want you to normalize positive thoughts. I want you to observe and change when necessary. I want you to win on purpose. I'll leave you with here's a gift. I do have a free ebook called I Build Wealth, 12 Steps to True Financial Freedom. If you want a free copy of this book, you could text me. You could text me at 646. So you have to text the word Mind Right, all one word, MINDRIGHT, Mind Right, to 646-687-4152, or you can visit 12stepfreedomplan.com. And I'll leave you with a final word. Lost wealth may be replaced by industry. Lost knowledge by study. Lost health by temperance or medicine. But lost time is gone forever. I want y'all to understand that you do not have time to waste. There are 150,000 people who die every single day. And it is a blessing that you still have breath in your body. There is somebody right now waiting for your gift, waiting for you to be great. They're waiting for you to save their life. And so the more you think it's about you, the longer you are wasting time that you even know you have. I want you to be great. Stop wasting time. Learn how to give your gift, how to monetize your gift, how to build financial freedom, right? Because the more financially free you are, the more good you could do on the earth. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for having me. I am Ash Cash signing out.